Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Congo Hour. My name is Wayna Dobson, along with my dynamic host, Trippy Congo.
There we go. Welcome to the show. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone had a great weekend. What'd you do over the weekend, Wayne?
I went to go see the movie Selma on Thursday evening, and I want to encourage anyone who has not gone to go see it. Please go see it. It was very emotional for me, Trippy. As I stated, I put it up on Facebook page because my grandfather actually marched in Montgomery, Alabama in 1965 with Martin Luther King and his wife and others. And I have pictures of him with Dr. Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, along with like Harry Belafonte and some I think Lena Horne and some other people. So yeah.
Did your grandfather talk about that?
He did.
A lot, did he?
Yeah. And so it was like.
What did he say about the experience?
It was a very hard experience for him. And it's depicted in the movie, and I don't want to give the whole thing away, just how they were treated. And the police officers and white people. And I think the crazy, and even with voting, the voting issue it depicted a whole bunch of things. The crazy thing is that was back in, I think the march started like 1964, 64. But the same things are still kind of sort of going on here in 2015.
Right.
Yeah, so we got to do something.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
our
You're
era,
right.
you and I. We got to make a difference.
Well, like, I don't know if we're in the same era.
We are in the same era.
Are we? You're like a little bit older than me.
You know
Just a
what?
little bit.
Wait. Where was I? It was a lady. She said, please tell Trippy stop picking on you.
Okay, I will.
I know where it was.
For the next hour.
Last
No more picking
evening,
on
Miss Fran Carter, she retired.
Yeah,
and so
congratulations
we're
to
gonna
Miss
say
Fran.
yes.
Yep.
So it was a lady there at her celebration that said, please tell Trippy to stop picking with you every Sunday.
Okay, I'm going to take the rest of the Sunday off as far as picking on you. I'm going to be nice. Okay? So for the next 50 minutes,
you gonna be nice?
I'm going to be nice.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So what do we have going on this evening?
Well, we have the Titans. They're here. They're winners. I'm excited. It's not their first time being here. Yeah, they're champions. So along with some moms and some football moms and their coaches, and then in the overflow we have some more, I guess, parents and other guests here on this evening. And who else do we have coming on?
We guess we anticipated on having Mayor Williams here, along with Chief Cummings.
I posted it on Facebook.
And so we're looking forward to the dialogue to talk about public safety and how can we help and do better and just talk about it. We're just looking forward to the conversation. But they're not here, but there are two other representatives from the city.
They sent a representative.
Right. So we're still going to talk about it. We're still going to talk about public safety and ways the community can do better, ways that public safety can do better.
Well, I apologize. One of the representatives said that he is doing his best to make it here.
Okay.
So I really hope he does, because like I said, we put it on our Facebook pages and we have some questions to ask the mayor, and I'm not sure if the people that he sent are able to answer those questions for him.
Right. But
So.
we'll still have the dialogue anyway, so I'm looking forward to that.
Is your dad
Yeah, he's
coming?
coming.
Okay.
Hopefully he'll still, we was looking forward to it also.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll still come on. That's going to be part of Sammy's Corner.
Okay.
And then as always, we have our funeral announcements, we have some community news, and we have some birthday shout outs.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you ready for our first?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, champions. So actually, let's start with you in the back there. Introduce yourself.
Make sure you,
My name is Stephen Brown. I'm the head coach of the sophomore Wilmington Titans, the AAU national champion, Wilmington Titans.
all right. And we'll start, start.
Come on,
And
Fig.
then you go next.
Terry Miller, AKA Coach Fig. I'm one of the coaches also for the AAU Wilmington Titan champions.
Coach Leroy Ames.
I'm Nicole Stevens, and I'm one of the team moms.
Janelle DeMillion Gaines, one of the team moms.
Okay. Give us some background about the Titans. How long have you been around? What is the purpose of the Titans? What kind of?
As an organization, this is our 4th year.
Okay.
We have 4 total teams. We do 8U, 10U, 12U, and 14U.
Okay.
I don't know our mission statement by heart, but one of our slogans is we're students first, athletes second.
All right.
We're out here trying to mentor these young boys and the young men. We try to be positive examples of adults, male and female, because we have our team moms, and we stress the importance of the team moms and what their role is.
Okay.
So, but as an organization, we just try to provide healthy activities, for youth within the city.
Okay. And where do you guys practice?
We practice at on 4th and Woodlawn,
Okay.
and but we start off on 2nd and DuPont at Judy Johnson Park, and then when once we lose daylight, we move over to 4th and Woodlawn.
Okay. I know you guys came to a city council meeting a couple weeks ago, and you were talking about the importance of the Titans and other teams also to have their own football field.
Right.
You want to speak about that?
Well, yeah, that's the issue, because within the city of Wilmington, there's Eden Park is the only park with a football field.
Okay.
All of the other football fields are on school property,
Okay.
which means we don't have access to them for free, or even so we don't have access to that. Now, if you go, like I used to coach in Delaware County, all of the parks have football fields.
Okay.
And then everywhere that we go, there are parks, there are city parks, there are county parks have football fields. Now, we can't get any help from the county at all when it comes to all the football fields. There's a lot of football fields in the county. But like I said, we can't get any help from the county. It's to a point where we don't even try anymore.
No, don't give up yet. You have a lady right
I was
here.
getting ready to say, hold
yeah.
up, wait
You
a
gotta-
minute, reverse, rewind.
I'm sorry, but
But I'm glad you said that, because afterwards I will get your number. I will share this information with the county executive and the community service manager, and we're going to change that.
that's good to hear, because the kids need access to facilities to be their best and to stay out of trouble. So that's big for us. Being able to practice on a football field, a quality field without ditches, where you don't have to worry about kids getting hurt. You don't have to clean it up every day before you get there, because that's the problem with Eden Park. We love the fact that the city allows us to get Eden Park whenever we need it,
Right.
but the things we have to clean up at Eden Park before
Right.
the kids get there, nobody should have to do that.
Right.
So, but Eden Park is the one city park that I can think of that has a football field, but you have 3 or 4 teams sharing that field.
All right. Okay.
So, that's what that was about. That we need more. We need at least 1 or 2 more football fields within the city.
Okay, all right. What was your record last year was, right?
We
This
were
season-
undefeated.
Yeah, this season right here, we was undefeated.
Okay, undefeated.
Yeah.
So I would say we had 5 games in Florida. About 15-0.
Now, I know you just said Florida. I know it takes monies to get to Florida. If there's anyone watching that wants to donate to the Titans to help with the cause, who should they contact?
Well, you can go online and donate directly if you go to leaguelineup.com/Wilmington Titans, just like it sounds. Leaguelineup.com/Wilmington Titans. And there's a donate button right on the donate link right on the website. That's the easy way. You could also contact the president, Stephen Cologne Monk. You can go to, if you're on Facebook, the Wilmington Titans Facebook page. And then our website, our email is wilmingtontitans@yahoo.com.
Yeah, Instagram too.
So, but the easiest way is to click right on the go to the website.
Okay.
And earlier you mentioned that your team is students. They're students first.
Yes.
So I know at the council meeting you mentioned that there's a very high percentage of them that were on honor roll.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, let's talk about that because that's important.
Well, we have
Some
some
moms.
parents here.
All right.
Would you like to talk about your children's grades? Or, but I'll keep it going. But yeah, we do. Just looking at the 13 we have here, I know like a Deshaun Moore Paiu, he's one of the highest, is in the highest percentile within his school.
Oh, wow.
Like all
Okay.
A's.
Who did you say?
Deshaun Moore. right there.
Deshaun,
Yeah,
raise your
right.
hand. Okay.
And then again, we have some other honorable. Joshua Ames is honor roll. I mean, these kids. I mean, it starts at home. It starts at home. So the parents, they do a great job with these kids, and none of them would be able to play. If
I was
they
going to
weren't
ask you,
doing good in
what kind of
school.
guidelines do you have as far as school?
Well,
for
within the
kids to be able to
organization,
play?
you have to
Right.
maintain a C average.
Okay.
Or we do tutoring. I think we had to do more of that on our older 2 age groups. You know, with the younger you get, the more parental involvement. The older you get, you know, the parents start to disappear on you. So I've never had to do any tutoring with this group. My own, I take that back. My own son, you know what I mean? We had to, you know, discipline him for things that was going on academically, but he got it together.
Okay.
So we do have academic standards as well as behavioral standards with the program. So you're not just being a knucklehead and then coming out here playing football because it's a privilege.
Right. Right. That's important. So let's hear from the team moms. What are your roles in the Wilmington Titans?
Well,
Make sure you hold the mic up real close.
we help with the coaches, like send out texts or whatever, provide snacks, fundraisers, try to head up some fundraisers to raise money for, like, when we go away to our away games and everything like that. Just keeping the kids in line on the sideline is very. You know, we have a good group of kids. I can say,
But they're still kids, right?
but they're still kids.
Right.
What else?
Just make sure the kids have water.
Yeah,
Where their
keeping them
moms on the
safe, pretty much.
sideline,
So.
safe and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
If anybody wants to join or volunteer to be a part of the Titans, not necessarily that has a child that wants to play, but just wants to be a part of something positive, like who could they call? What areas do you need help in if you need that?
Well, we are looking for volunteer coaches.
Okay.
But we also are looking for board members, which I believe is more kind of what you're speaking about, that could help behind the
Both.
scenes.
Okay.
With whether it's secretary, treasurer, fundraising, marketing, promoting. That's our biggest concern.
Okay.
Because as an organization, we put a good football product out there, but it's not necessarily promoted that well. Now, our word of mouth is our best form of promotion.
Yeah.
So you know that it's like a double-edged sword to where people know what we do, but that's the football community. You know what I mean? Someone who doesn't know about football might not necessarily play. They would see us now. They seen us, you know, a couple weeks ago when we were on here aboard the city council. But the board, how about with the board would be the same way. You would go to Wilmington Titans, the Facebook, the email, or like I said, leaguelineup.com, and you can, you know, submit a volunteer form where they do the background check and, you know, that. But we definitely need more volunteers.
Okay. And if someone wants their child or a child that they know to be a part of the Titans, they can go through those same venues?
Yes,
Okay.
everything. Pretty much everything as far as contacting us, you can do through the website,
Okay.
registering your children. We also do spring football, which I will be doing registrations for that pretty soon. We're the only organization that does that, and we've been doing it for this will be the 3rd year,
Okay.
where we do spring tackle football, not flag. You know, we do tackle football in the spring.
When does that start? You know offhand?
The very first game is the last weekend of March.
Okay.
We start our registration middle of February. We start practice at the end of February.
All right.
So
And how long is the season, the spring season?
the spring season is 8 weeks.
All right.
There's two different leagues. We do one youth arena with our younger age groups, and then our older teams do another league, which is I believe 9 or 10 weeks, depending on how far you go.
Okay.
So yeah, but and that's something. It's like anything. If somebody's in the ballet, if they practice that 9 months out of the year, they'll be exceptional. If you're in the arts, you know what I mean. If you whatever you dedicate your time to is what you'll be good at. And you know, this national championship that this team won is a result of the 9 months of football last year.
Okay.
Okay, you want to go over to
Yeah,
them?
let's how you want to do it?
Well, they've already been instructed, so we're going to
Okay.
start with number 14. He's going to come up to the mic. So you're going to tell us your name, how old you are, the position, and what school you attend.
My name is Joshua Ames, and I'm 11, and I go to Stubbs Elementary School.
And if you want to say hi to somebody who's watching, you can do that too.
What position?
And I'm a running back and a defensive end.
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Stephen Hall. I go to Prestige Academy. My position is wide receiver and cornerback. And I like to shout out my sister, my big brother, my little brother, and my mom.
All right.
All right, what school do you go to? What school do you go to, buddy? Oh, you go to Prestige. I'm sorry. All right.
My name is Dayon Polk. My name is Dayon Polk. I'm 11 years old. I go to Harlan Elementary, and I'm running back and cornerback.
You want to say hi to anybody in your family, your friends who are watching?
Hey, Daddy.
Shout out to my dad who isn't here.
All right.
My name is Nicholas Campbell. I play outside linebacker, and I go to Southern Elementary, and I'm 11.
My name is Sakai Milton. I'm 11. I go to Eastside Charter, and
What
my
position do you
position
play?
is corner and wide receiver. My name is Donovan Morales. I'm 10. I go to Austin D. Boss Elementary School, and the position I play is center and defensive end.
My name is Josiah Gittersleeve. I play wide receiver and middle linebacker, and I go to Eisenberg Elementary.
My name is Deshaun Moore, and I play linebacker, D tackle, fullback, and right tackle. And I go to Shirley Academy, and I want to shout out to my aunt, my grandmom, and my mom, and my uncle.
All right.
My name is Terrell Miller. I play linebacker, and I go to Harlan Elementary, and I'm 10 years old.
My name is Devin Green. I'm 11 years old. I go to Tally Middle School, and I'm a running back and linebacker.
My name is Quincy Brittingham. I go to Prestige Academy. I'm 11, and I want to shout out to my mom.
Whoa, that's a big boy. So he's 11?
My name is Aaron Fisher. I play left guard and backup center. And I go to Albert S. Jones Elementary School. I'm 11 years old.
All right. Gee. All right, that was good. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
And congratulations.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh yeah, can we get a number 55? Come up a little closer so Miss Keisha can get a closer view of your medal that you have on. Can you get it, Keisha?
Step up.
We have some family too to the left of you, Keisha. We can.
They like it.
They didn't think they were going to be in
We want to. Okay, we got
yeah, but they came to support, so we
Yeah.
recognize them too.
There's the medal.
Yeah, there
Thank
was the medal.
you.
Keisha, yeah, let's get the family to your left. Can you do that? Hey, let's get a shot of them too.
Smile, yo. Like they wait.
There they go. That's why they came to support.
You never know what you're going to do.
Wave just on. Got it.
All right, well, we want to thank you all again and
Yes,
congratulations.
thank you.
And don't forget to keep in touch with Wayne because she's going to try
Thank
to get
you.
some help with the football field.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And give us your contact information one more time, please.
My specific contact information, Coach Stephen Brown, 302-494-8907. And the Wilmington Titans at yahoo.com. We have our website, leaguelineup.com/Wilmington Titans. And then we have our Facebook page, Wilmington Titans Youth Athletics. So you can contact myself or the president of the organization through any of those addresses.
Okay.
All right.
And thanks for having us.
You're very welcome, and we'll see you back on shortly to talk about the football fields that you're going to be playing on.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay. All right. So we're going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back with our next segment. Good evening and welcome back to the Congo Hour. Mr. Congo has graciously turned his corner over to Trippy and myself. So this is the Tripway corner. And we have Mr. Congo on our panel of guests this evening, along with Inspector Lloyd, and we have Chief Good here. So welcome, gentlemen, to the Congo Hour.
How are you?
I'm
Welcome.
wonderful.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Y'all doing all right this evening?
That's right. And it's Inspector Smith.
Just
Make
for
sure
the
you get it
record,
right.
it's Clayton Smith.
Lord
There you go.
Jesus,
That's
please
all right.
forgive me.
Don't worry about it. It happens all the time.
Does it really?
Yep.
That was a slip.
That's
I
okay.
apologize.
No problem.
Don't disrespect that man's name.
I know that's right. All right.
I guess let's just give some background of maybe the show last week where we talked where County Exec Tom Gordon was here, and who else?
Councilman J Street.
Yeah, Councilman J Street and my dad. They were all here. We were just talking about public safety and some of the concerns that a lot of the residents have in Wilmington and Newcastle County. And it was a pretty good discussion. I really liked it. I was looking forward to Dennis, Mayor Williams being here, and Chief Cummings. They reached out and asked could they come on tonight to continue the discussion. I was looking forward to it. I think the community was too. Not taking anything away from these two gentlemen, but it's just a discussion that I think is going to be good for government and for the residents.
Yeah, and like I said, we posted on Facebook, so we have questions, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I mean, we can still talk about
Yeah,
some
we're
of
still
the
going
things.
to talk about it. Hopefully, Mayor Williams did say that he does want to reschedule. So we'll see if our schedule allows him to come back
It
on.
would be the
You know what I
second
mean?
Sunday in February.
Of here. Or
Oh, that's wrong. Don't do it like that.
no, but I guess I'm let down because I was really
I was
looking
too.
forward just to talking to him, and I don't know if you saw that article today.
I did.
On Delaware Online, but I'm just talking about that, talking about the Newsweek article, just talking about the direction of the police department and public safety in general. So I'm just like, oh man, because so many people were looking forward to it also.
Trust me, I know.
I know. So
I know.
I don't need
I
to
know.
explain it to
I
you. I
don't
guess I'm
care.
just trying to not vent because I'm not mad. I'm just kind of let down. 'Cause I just wanted to talk about it, but we still can. We'll still talk about some of the issues that that the residents have, and I was hoping that the phone lines would work so we can get some call-ins, but they're not working right now, right?
They're not, but
Okay.
I mean, there's always a ram in the bush. We can use my cell phone. We can bring up the handheld mic. I
I
mean,
don't know how to sound, so but let's just talk.
Okay.
See? All right.
all right.
All right.
Well, I do know, and I would really like to start with Mr. Congo because we talk about public safety, and he's very adamant, and I truly agree with him that the police cannot help us 100%.
Right, that's true.
That it starts at home. So, Mr. C, if you could just if you don't mind, just taking a few minutes and talk around that we share about all the time.
Wayne, it is such a big subject, and it has so much, I guess, attached to it in so many directions. It is so difficult in a short period of time to even stimulate thinking. Several things crossed my mind, and I guess one of the major things that I keep saying that I don't believe it's a police problem, and I've never believed it, and I still don't believe that it is a police problem. I think that it is the inaccurate perception.
To the map of reality.
Okay, because we know. I'll give you a good example. I understand that there may be some problem with the Moyer School. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Now, I would bet you, no matter who you could get the president of Yale University to come down here without the resources, and Moyer School will fail. Okay, I don't care what you do. You can't take overnight the problems that cause schools to lose their credibility when you have a group of people that you give 3 years. It's impossible. But as Jay said last week, you need resources. You get the resources. I was telling them out in the green room that if they take the bullets out of their guns, all the crooks would take over Wilmington. That's their resource. We need the resource. Tom Gordon has offered this state the ability to to eradicate 90% of the crime. He said that if this state and its leadership gets together and helps the port, they guarantee between 15 and 20,000 jobs. All the unemployed young men who have to develop a method of survival, whether it's panhandling or snatching pocketbooks to survive, and we're all going to survive, can be erased with 20,000 jobs.
Good
So,
paying jobs too.
what's that?
They're good paying jobs.
That's what I mean. Good paying jobs where we have decent homes and feel good about yourself. I don't think anybody feels good about snatching a pocketbook. That's the way I look at it. The police cannot control that kind of epidemic that for the life of Delaware and its inability to create resources for all people and cause this pack of where you live, you don't find people out in Westover Hills having the problem that people in certain neighborhoods have. It's all based on resource, availability, the jobs, the homes. These men are not responsible for the people that have created the racism, for the people that have prevented young people from having jobs through identifying themselves as who they are, how they dress. They don't know how to dress. No one has told them how to dress. They don't get the jobs. Well, that's I tell you, it's so big that you can't in 10 or 15 minutes, work it through and talk about it like it has some sense. But, I noticed that the mayor has inherited the responsibilities of this city's crime. That crime was there before he left. It will be there after he's gone. Because we have not. It could be, if they got those 20,000 jobs, he could be a hero. Because there may be some dumb body to shoot somebody, but it maybe be one every 2 years, not one every week, as a result of the economic conditions that face this unemployed, where we play with it and say there's 7% when there's 50% in our community, and these people have to survive. So I said all that to say that I would have loved to have the mayor here with us, because I think he's trying to accept the responsibility and that he's going to do something about it. And it takes this entire community. It takes all the presidents. I noticed it in the paper. The presidents of the major companies were discussing it. They were going to move, and moving isn't going to solve the problem. And if we're interested in solving the problem, we're not going to move. We're going to stay right there just like we do and address the problems that affect us as a people. They do not identify. The thing that I think we mostly have to do, and that is the big job for gentlemen like the inspector here. We have to create a climate in the police department where the police department becomes a part of our community. Right now, I don't believe that they feel a part of the community, and I'm like Trippy, we're not trying to put the policemen down. We have to create a climate where the policemen feel a responsibility to all communities and serve them all well. And I'll end with that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I agree on pretty much everything you said. Well, actually everything you said. I think that we talked about this a lot, at home, that the police department is almost like a scapegoat of the media, of corporations, because a lot is put on the police department. Like you said, we can't expect the police department to handle that kind of responsibility. We've always talked about how I think that it starts with education. And I haven't seen any articles, major ones like Newsweek and the one that was online today talking about our education system. It always falls back on the police, but I do think the police department has a part in the solution. But I think most of it is with education. And until we really start looking at who's controlling the way our kids are educated, we're just spinning our wheels, and it's unfair. It is unfair to the police department. I mean, there are some things that have to be addressed within the police department. I'm not trying to get around that, but to have that kind of responsibility placed on them, that you take children and don't educate them or miseducate them, and then they grow up to be uneducated adults, and you want the police department to fix it. Yeah, I don't think that's fair. But I guess that's another discussion that we need to have, honestly, with the governor and people down in Dover and the school boards and whoever else can help. That can immediately help, like the education system. But I don't want to take up. I know we can just talk, and I want to give you guys a chance to chime in and just tell some of your thoughts.
Well, thank you for having us on here. Of course, first I'm going to apologize for the mayor not being here. We had those articles that floated around the paper say he's going to be dodging meetings, and unfortunately, as an administration, we kind of made his schedule a little tight today. He's still trying to get here. Unfortunately, I doubt he'll make it in time to be able to get here. He tried to call in if he possibly could. But phone lines aren't working. We're going to work on that. The phone lines aren't working.
Our cell phones don't work.
Right, and he's not a man for excuses. I don't need to give him any excuses, but some of the things that he's done. Thursday, on January 8th, we celebrated the mayor's birthday, 62nd birthday. But what's more so relevant to this talk is the fact that it was the end of his second year in office. And in those 2 years, some of the things that have been done to address some of the things like crime, education, there's litigation that was started to try to save Moyer Academy. The judge has ruled already that they're going to close Moyer Academy. I'm sure that we're looking at appeals and things of that nature, to what we can do to stop that, because who is going to handle treating those students, those children that are from here in Wilmington, ones that may not be able to go somewhere else, or their parents may not be able to get to another school. Last week we had on Councilman Jay Street, who's a significant advocate for this, as well as Newcastle County Executive Tom Gordon, and they've been working with the mayor on trying to handle a lot of these things. There's programs that they put out there for the police department that are working, and the deployment strategies that are working. And unfortunately, Bobby Cummings, of course, the chief, is not here, but Clayton Smith, he can sit right in here and speak on that all he wants. But before you even get to that, tomorrow, throughout the day and throughout the evening, tonight, as it gets a little bit later and earlier in the AM, it's supposed to get a little bit messy outside. So we have individuals that are working out there, like Commissioner Starkey from Public Works, to have crews out there all night long salting the streets. So if you see the trucks going up and down the streets, be prepared to see that. There's going to be salting and putting brine down on the streets if necessary, but it's still going to be messy out there, so please be careful in your moving around your commutes tomorrow. But that's just part of the overall part of public safety scheme. Today, the governor announced that the city of Wilmington was selected for the Downtown Development District. That's a huge mark for us. 9 applications to go into the governor for different areas of the city. We were selected for Newcastle County for the city of Wilmington based off of that. Our economic development director, Jeff Flynn, he's done an outstanding job on helping to direct some of those programs that the mayor wants to see happen, things that are building Wilmington. It's not tearing it down. As a society, we always seem to look at the negative, or we allow ourselves to be led by the negative articles and all the different things.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I almost don't like having this conversation, because it almost kind of lends.
It lends to their era where we can talk about negative tomorrow.
Right.
But you have to face those things head on. Sometimes you got to realize that these are things that we always can't just sit here and argue about. We're wasting our own time in doing so. We have to be proactive as a government to take and move things forward, and at times reactive to things that are said, because sometimes it's the community saying something. The homicide unit that was formulated, well, the community was saying something, and the mayor listened to the community and he formulated that, but not after carefully taking and sitting down with the inspectors and Chief Cummings to find out exactly what direction we should be moving in and how do we do it so that we're doing it right. And you'll see a lot of different things happening with that training that they have for them, training for all of us. In the fire department, my fire marshal's office are reaching out and doing different things to react in the community, whether it be code enforcement with license and inspection to try to get rid of some of these vacant properties, or to try to address some of the homelessness problems that we have. Because poverty and things like that all face into exactly what Samuel was talking about. the problem that we have is social and economical.
I have a question for the inspector. With the things that have happened in Ferguson and other states, is Wilmington, are we thinking about putting police officers that look like us in the communities that are more sensitive to?
Yeah, I hate to say this, I think we're way ahead of Ferguson.
Okay.
We've been close to our community for a very long time. I'm sorry. I'm doing something wrong.
You're fine. I wanted to make sure you had your mic on.
Yeah, there's a number of officers who grew up in the city of Wilmington and in and around Newcastle County who I know. Chief Cummings, he's from the city. So the chief, when he took over, we started a staff walk where we walk into the communities on 3 or 4 times a week during the warmer months. Now we've been going to the schools in the morning time, greeting some of the students in the various schools throughout the city. But like I said, I think we have a good relationship with the community. Our community policing unit does a lot of good things out in the community with all the community groups that they come in touch with. It's just kind of difficult for some people to really see that all the time. There's a lot of things going on internally, but as Sammy kind of said a little earlier, this is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. Like the chief just said, the mayor has changed a lot of things going into his first term. We got a homicide unit. We've changed our deployment. We reconstructed the police department. We have broken it down into 3 sectors, where there's a captain in each sector, and that in turn gives those individuals more buy-in to those particular sectors. Instead of having one captain in charge of the entire city for patrol, we have 3 now. So they have resources that they bring to their specialized or their particular problems that they see in their particular sectors. We also have bought in with the BJA, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, on the federal level. They're bringing in a lot of programs, a lot of things. And you might have heard here lately was the HIDA that they've authorized now. It's going to bring in a lot more federal assistance. And you're going to see a lot of things change, but it's going to be internal first, and then the end results, over time, it'll show itself out there in the reduction of crime, violent crime.
And Troy, just let me add to that, just real quick. One of the things, are we representing the community? Do we look like the community that we represent? And that's one of the biggest things. And as the inspector will tell you, if you look at the diversity of both the police department's academy staff that they have in place right now, as well as the fire department staff that they have in place, you'll see a lot of that diversity coming right here from the city of Wilmington. It's been a change of the way that we've been doing things, and that's been with the help of city council. City council has encouraged us. We listen to our communities, people looking for jobs. We put them on jobs. There's a lot of city residents that were hired into both the fire academy and the police academy. And when we say the diverse makeup, we're not simply just talking about white and black. We're talking about male and female. We have an Asian. There's a lot of different things that you have to look at because you want to represent, you want to be able to talk to the community that you serve. Not everybody can do that, but I have to give it to the police department. When you say that somebody really relate to the community that's out there, they have a significant amount of their community specialists that are out there. And if you're riding around the city like I am on a typical day-to-day basis, you see them on the corners talking to individuals, and they're communicating with people. It's not a yelling match, it's not a screaming match, just sitting down, just enjoying their time with them, finding out what's actually going on in that area and seeing what they can do to help. And that's what we need more of.
I guess one of the biggest questions one of the most questions that I get is like when, I know we kind of touched on it, I don't know if you can even answer this question, but like when, I guess growing up, I saw people always talk about, officer friendly, and yes. I remember seeing like just police officers almost all the time. I don't know if it was because I was younger, it was more dramatic for me, so I remember that. But I just like, people always ask like, when will we see officers just walking?
You'll
like,
see
all
that
the time?
real soon.
You'll
see that real soon. It's coming. We got a little strain on the resource right now. We have a large police academy, and like the chief alluded to earlier, very diverse police academy. This police academy has the largest number of female recruits ever. So it's a second generation of recruits in there, and it's some city residents in this police academy. And it's going to be a good group, a good diverse group of individuals that you're going to come out. It was a painstaking process for the chief of police. We had probably close to 400 applicants and whittled it down to 35 plus recruits right now in the academy.
When will they be graduating?
They should be coming out sometime in May.
May, okay. So that's when we can be looking for.
Right, once you see the increase in their strength and they're able to deploy their resources a little bit evenly across different areas of the city. You know, you always want to concentrate in different areas. For the police department and the fire department, we have to look at the trends of what's going on in those areas. Just like the friendly firefighter that we have, you know, officers that come out there, you see them walking around in our fire prevention unit. You'll also have the police department doing the same thing. It's very interesting to sit back in the position that I am, and you can watch the dynamics of how they put this together. But what you have to look at too is there's so much more to it. So much more to it that people really truly cannot see on a day-to-day basis. You know, operations are painstaking and they're dynamic. So you have to do different things every day to work on them. And I appreciate all the work the inspectors and Bobby Cummings have been doing. They've been doing a lot of different work. I also appreciate Newcastle County our executive, Tom Gordon, you know, last week when he was on the show here with, you know, Trippy was talking about you'd like to see more officers. Maybe we can bring other officers in from the county, maybe the state. And one of the things that they led into is more than willing to come in and help us as long as they're working under the premise of what we're doing right here, right now. Because there's a show going on. It's 24/7, and there's always something happening. We always have to be able to work together and doing those different things. We work with the county. I enjoyed a meeting today with the Newcastle County Fire Chiefs. We work with them very well. They come into the city and support us. We go out into the county and support them. So I think we're building and fostering great relationships and mutual aid relationships throughout the city, even county, as well as the state. But we have the federal level assistance as well through the ATF, as well as the FBI. Everyone taking and assisting us in different ways.
I think that what we do have to work on is, I don't know if it's real or not, but I've heard it from Tom. Kind of touched on it just last Sunday, and I've heard, I'm friends with some officers, and they kind of touch on it in both county and the state and in the city, is the willingness, I guess, for everybody to kind of work together in the city.
It's culture
Right,
change and a
right.
culture shock.
Like for the Wilmington PD to welcome the state and the county, and for the state and the county to want to come into Wilmington and help. Because at the end of the day, like the people don't really care who it is. They
That's
don't
right.
care if it's a county, state, or a city officer. They just want somebody to help.
I agree.
So we got to get past that culture, or if it's political, we have to get past that and not let that stand in the way of just serving the people. It's
not something that's just mentioning. It's true. Whenever you're trying to change things, there's always going to be people that believe that change is going to be adverse, or they want to take and resist that change. You have to work through it.
Right.
Sometimes you got to force that change, and it works out.
And like I said before, the chief and the mayor, we're actually have a community policing philosophy for the whole entire organization. So it's not just a community policing unit. You'll see over time through the transition in officers as they get more time on, the whole entire, like I said, department is community policing style, and that type of policing effort will be reflected throughout the entire police department. Just give us a little bit of time. We're getting there. We're working towards that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you to the two of you for coming on. We appreciate you. I need the mayor to have his person contact me.
We'll do that immediately.
So that we can get him on. All right, and I'll make sure that
we'll
you
do
have
that
the
immediately.
information. All right, Mr. Congo, did you want to say anything before we take a quick break?
Well, I just appreciate these gentlemen coming in and giving us the information that I've learned since they've been here, just what's going on in the city. I don't believe that the perception, could I say, of the average citizen in the city is aware of what they just talked about.
Right.
And so that's very unfortunate. And so what has to happen, I think, is that there has to be some kind of system that allows the average citizen, well, not even the average citizen, but there's where the citizens of Wilmington are closer to the police and fire departments. And they can begin to gain a value for them instead of a distance.
Right. Very good. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into the Congo Hour. Before we're going to take a quick break, and I pray that I know that on Community Crossfire is our dear friend Sam Guy, and prayerfully he will give us a few more minutes, because I don't think Trippy has got the hang of like when we need to start wrapping up the first segment to go into the second segment. But we're gonna get it right. But I want to make this announcement as I promised. The place to be on Valentine's Day, a night of elegance, Saturday, February the 14th at 6 o'clock. Dress up after 6 attire and dine fine catered. It's going to be Rich Tucker. It's going to be the band. It's going to be at Simpson United Methodist Church. The donation of the tickets are $30 a person, and see any man of Simpson. And I'm going to give you Charles Smith's number, because there's not a telephone number on the flyer. His telephone number is 559-8551. Once again, that's 559-8551. So we're going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back with our funeral announcements.
All right, again, we do want to thank Sam Guy for allowing us to use some of his time. But Wayne, just before I do go to my funeral announcements, I want you to try to reach out to the governor, to Governor Markell, and to the Secretary of Education, Mark Murphy, just so we can have them come on the show and talk about education. Because so many times we leave them out of the conversation. I don't think that's fair. Just like kind of like my dad was pointing on, it's always we always talk about the police, and I think that they have a very important role, but we rarely talk about the education side of it. So if we can try to get them on and see if they'll be willing to come on and talk about education in the city. Okay, at this time we're going to have our funeral announcements. First we have Miss Dorothy Jones, age 85, departed this life December the 25th. Her funeral services were last Wednesday at the St. Mary's Catholic Church, and her burial took place in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Mr. Nathaniel Grissett, age 83, departed this life December the 28th. His funeral services were last Friday, and his burial took place in the Delaware Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Mr. John Wright, age 59, departed this life January the 2nd. His funeral service took place on Friday at the Canaan Baptist Church, and his burial was in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Miss Lydia Baynard, age 66, departed this life December the 28th. Her funeral services were on Friday at the Kelton Church of Christ in West Grove, Pennsylvania, and her burial took place in the Silverbrook Cemetery. Mrs. Rachel Hanks, age 83, departed this life in January. Her funeral services took place on Saturday at the Shiloh Baptist Church, and her burial was in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Mr. Marvin E. Barnes, age 50, departed this life January the 5th. His funeral service took place yesterday at the Congo Funeral Home on 2nd and Gray Avenue, and his burial will be private. Services for Mr. George Thomas, age 60, are private. Miss Maxine Anderson, age 66, departed this life in December. Her funeral services will take place on Tuesday, January the 13th at the Bethel AME Church on 6th and Walnut Street. Viewing will be from 10 to 11, and service will be in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Services will begin at 11. Miss Tiffany Jones, age 48, departed this life January the 10th. Her funeral services will be on Friday, January the 16th at the Congo Funeral Home on 24th and Market Streets. Viewing will be from 9 to 10:45 only, and her burial will be in the Grace Lawn Memorial Park. Mr. Bertram Furrow, age 79, departed this life January the 7th. His funeral services will be on Saturday, January the 17th at 10 a.m. at the New Mount Olive Baptist Church. Viewing will be from 8 to 9:45 only, and his burial will be in the Lombardi Cemetery. Mr. Norman Boyce, age 98. His burial will be on January the 20th, Tuesday, January the 20th at 11 a.m. in the Delaware Veterans Memorial Cemetery. Services for Miss Doris Knotts, age 75, will be on January the 24th at the Simpson United Methodist Church, 907 Centerville Road, at 3 p.m. Her memorial service will be at 3 p.m. From 2 to 2:30, there will be the Ivy Behind the Wall ceremony of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Zeta Omega Chapter. And also from 2:30 to 3, there will be family visitation, and once again, her burial will be private. Services will be announced for Miss Elfrida E. Merchant, age 87, who departed this life on yesterday. The services for Miss Lisa Wilkins, age 54, who departed this life January the 7th, will be on Friday, January the 16th at 11 a.m. at Impacting Your World Christian Center, 10 Chestnut Drive in Elkton, Maryland. Viewing will be from 9 to 10:45 only. And once again, the services will begin at 11. All right, that does conclude all of our funeral announcements. If you have any questions, just please call us at the funeral home at 652-8887. You can always go to our website at www.congofuneralhome.com. Once again, we want to thank Sam Guy for letting us go into his time. And Wayna is sneaking over. I'm not sure why.
I'm sneaking over because one of our favorite, he loves to view the show. He's always texting me to say, like, your head is sweating, or I need to have more popping colors on. Is
to lose weight.
I thought you was gonna be nice.
You talking about my sweating here?
I said that's what he texts me. I didn't say that.
Said about you too.
Anyway, we want to say happy 50th birthday to Mustafa, and we have a picture of him. He celebrated his birthday, on last evening. So happy birthday, Mustafa.
All right, love you, Wayna, and we love
you back,
all of you. And God willing, we will see you next Sunday.